Hello everyone. Today we'll be introducing a forum thread featuring a matchmaking woman who mistakenly believes women can get married anytime they want. After being told by her parents to move out, she angrily declares, "I'll get married and move out to show them." Will she really be able to marry so easily? Let's examine this matchmaking woman's behavior, which is full of questionable points.
I'm a 46-year-old woman. Do men ever reject marriage proposals from women? I had a fight with my parents and suddenly need to get married, but men won't even go on dates with me. Let me ask you men something. Don't men want to marry women? Is there ever a case where men reject dating or marriage when approached by women? Isn't marriage men's happiness?
Of course they reject. Do you think men are puppets? If a beautiful 20-year-old with big breasts approached, they wouldn't refuse. It depends on the person.
My parents keep nagging me to move out every time we meet. Every single day, whenever we see each other, they say, "We want you to become independent soon." Ugh, so annoying. I thought I'd get married and quickly move out to abandon them first, but after 6 months of matchmaking, I can't even get a boyfriend, let alone married. Even when I make offers, men keep rejecting me. Do men really reject approaches from women? I'm willing to marry, but all these men keep refusing. It's frustrating.
If parents are telling their daughter to move out, there must be serious personality issues.
Isn't it normal parental love to want the daughter to stay home until marriage?
If you can't even get a boyfriend through matchmaking, you must be either extremely ugly or have a twisted personality, right?
First, let me introduce my specs. I'm a 46-year-old woman. I help with housework at home. Though 46, I'm lucky to have a youthful face and am often told I look early 30s. I've never worked full-time at a company. Since I've never worked or given birth, my body hasn't deteriorated. I have slim legs and overall good proportions. People often ask, "Are you a model?" Currently living with my parents and 2 papillons. As an only child, I stayed home planning to care for my parents. But lately, every time we meet, they say, "We want you to become independent soon. We're worried about you."
A 46-year-old woman is saying this childish stuff? No man would want to marry a 46-year-old granny. The logic of marrying just to move out makes no sense.
They pretend to worry about me, but really only think of themselves. Normal parents would want their daughter home until marriage, right? Trying to kick out their only daughter. What toxic parents. I know they just don't want to spend more money on me. Family should help each other. They have an obligation to support their child, but my parents don't know common sense. Of course I tried to teach them. My attitude must irritate them because they've been harsher lately. When they say mean things, I get angry too. I have feelings.
How awful.
Kicking out their only daughter. Terrible parents, right? Glad someone understands.
No, you're the awful one. Parents' obligation to support children? Sure, until adulthood, but how old are you? 46, a certified old hag. Know what we call old hags still living in their childhood room. Childroom aunties. Objectively, your parents seem to be giving caring advice. Children don't understand parents' love.
You said their words got harsher. What did they say?
Seems no one's on my side here. I don't like being made the villain among all these enemies, so I'll go elsewhere.
Wait, I might be on your side. Ignore the heartless ones and tell me your story.
They said, "We can barely afford the dogs, so at least get a job to earn your own spending money," comparing me to dogs. Can you believe it? They should kick out the 2 dogs before me. They also said, "We'll pay the matchmaking service fee, but you need to earn the rest yourself," paying the fee just to kick me out. Such toxic parents. But since I wanted to marry and move out anyway, I gladly took their money for the matchmaking service.
If you're worse than dogs, that's fair.
I feel sorry for the dogs being compared to you.
I joined a matchmaking service, but they never introduce anyone matching my ideals. Frustrated with the counselors, I started making meeting requests myself. The counselors say, "You don't meet this person's requirements," vaguely, but what requirements? If I'm offering to meet, that should be enough. Occasionally I get meetings, but only with men who don't meet my standards. Still, if they want me, I might compromise and marry them. But I always get rejected immediately after meetings. After 6 months, I still can't get a boyfriend. I want to marry and move out ASAP. Any advice?
Getting rejected after meetings means you're not their type. Maybe the counselors begged them just to meet you because you're so pushy? Probably agreed to meet knowing they'd refuse.
Do men reject marriage?
Of course. Marrying someone who doesn't meet your standards brings no joy or happiness. Matchmaking services let people clearly reject mismatches.
Men reject marriage proposals.
They reject. If they don't meet women they like, many men quit matchmaking entirely.
Men don't need to force themselves to marry. If they dislike the woman, they'll refuse without hesitation.
But I'm a woman. I'm saying, I'm willing to marry.
Don't tell me you think men will marry any woman.
If so, you're massively mistaken. Men have feelings too. They'd rather marry a good woman than one they dislike. Just as women evaluate men, men evaluate women.
Don't mistakenly think women can pick freely in a buyer's market. Even if you want to marry, if the other person doesn't want to marry you, that's the end.
You're selfish, both in matchmaking and at home.
You're saying women like me can get rejected? Men should marry any woman. That's absurd.
By the way, can you share your requirements?
As a woman, I have many requirements: over 6 million yen income, early 40s max, near 50 is gross, must own a Tokyo condo or house, paying rent is stupid, over 175 centimeters tall, cute youthful face, must live separately from parents, I want just us two, I want to be a housewife, no part-time work, husband should cover cosmetics, beauty expenses like living costs. At 46, no kids. That's about it. I can add more after marriage.
Does such a woman really exist?
More importantly, would men meeting those specs even need matchmaking?
How highly do you think of yourself? A 46-year-old hag making such demands is disgusting.
How did you calculate that 6 million yen figure?
I know 10 million is unrealistic. But 6 million is common, right? Men past marriageable age should earn at least that much. I set conditions after careful thought. Over 10 million is fine too, just no less than 6 million.
Compare your specs to your demands. They don't match at all.
No wonder men keep rejecting you.
Please quit the matchmaking service and leave the marriage market.
Marriage is between humans. You're worse than a dog. How arrogant to think you can marry a human.
You're saying men select marriage partners too? And I won't be chosen? Then I'll lower my standards. Same income, age, average looks are fine now, just no short, fat, bald. Renting is okay. If they'll do all housework, living with their parents is fine. How about that? I lowered them significantly. Can I marry now?
Did you seriously think your specs match men meeting these standards? If so, you lack proper judgment.
Let me give real examples. 2.5 million yen income. You're 46, so he'd be late 50s plus. Pay your own cosmetics with money from working. You'll work. Live with his parents sharing housework. Honestly, you'd only match unemployed men. 2.5 million is already generous. Face reality.
What kind of requirements are these? Marriage would be meaningless under these conditions. If I, a woman, am willing to marry, the men refusing must be at fault. I see no one here understands me. Thank you anyway.
That argument again. Run from reality all you want, but eventually you'll hit that wall. Will you still be delusional then?
Whether continuing matchmaking or job hunting, face reality soon. You're already 46.
You might not find anyone even with these conditions. You're unemployed, after all.
Helping with housework means unemployed. Men want independent working women. No man in the marriage market would want unemployed you.
Try getting a job first. Maybe you'll meet a man who likes you there. Aim for a love marriage. Good luck.
I'd love to see how this women can marry anytime delusion ends.
Get a job, become independent, occasionally give your parents spending money. You're a 46-year-old hag. Learn how the world works. Showing grandchildren isn't the only way to be filial.
What did you think? This woman isn't alone in mistakenly believing men will marry any woman. Maybe such women were popular and pampered by men in their youth. While young love is one thing, marriage naturally involves evaluating partners. Especially someone like our protagonist, unemployed, older, with personality issues, would be first to be rejected. Let's just hope she doesn't evolve in some twisted direction like in Misery. We'll keep revealing Japan's hidden truths, so please subscribe, like, and tip. See you next time. Bye.